Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of the League One Review Show, or Sunday Therapy Sessions, as it's been more commonly known. I'm joined once again by Sheff 41. Sheff 41. Sorry, miles away today. For anybody who doesn't know you, Jake, please sell yourself, plug whatever.
So I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan. For my sins, I've been doing Wednesday content for about, I think we worked out like 10-ish years, and only recently got big. I do a Talking Wednesday podcast every Tuesday at 5 p.m. at 30 Bots the channel. It's on all podcast platforms of choice. And I just talk about Wednesday and see how we do. And Sundays I'm happy, Sundays I'm not.
To be fair, more happy than not over this season. So it's not been too bad a season. Before we do get started, obviously, as usual, get your comments in and we'll try and go through as many as possible. But although it's a League One review show, we do want to send our thoughts out to Paul Parrish's family, the Fulham fan, who sadly passed away at the game yesterday. And we're in the same mindset that it's never nice to go to a football game. And
you want your fans to come home. You go to a game and you expect to come home.
Yeah. Also, everybody else seen in the news today about Mason Greenwood. We don't condone domestic violence or anything like that. So get your comments in about it, but I don't think we'll spend too much time on that. It's a wrong one, isn't it?
I'll just put it this way. It's a case of young kids, young footballers getting too much money too quick, think they've got it all, and then when somebody says no, they think they can just lob cash at it or whatever. And at the end of the day, it's wrong. Let the courts deal with it. Let it go from there and give the actual poor laugh the support instead of victimizing her all through it, because at the end of the day, she's human and she's gone through a lot by the sounds of it.
Yeah, very tough images to see, very tough video to listen to as well. So, yeah, like you say, hopefully she gets the support protection that she needs. But yeah, some comments have already come in. We've got Football Fan BWFC, so Bolton Wanderers. It was at the game yesterday. Atmosphere was electric. Thankfully, we won 6-0. We'll get onto that one a little bit later.
Yeah, we will.
Ian's been in the chat as well. He's ready. Hi, everyone. Late again. You were early, Ian. You were very early.
VAR in the stream.
We've got Lizzie in the chat as well. Looking forward to this. Need cheering up. And these therapy sessions always help. I need to put my teeth in. Jonathan's in as well. Evening, guys. Evening, Jonathan.
Mate.
Good results for you. Captain Nat as well. Wow.
Captain Nat, how are you, mate?
Jake, loving the shirt. Yeah, show that off a little bit. Her game too.
Got a hat coming too as well.
Very nice. Charlie, one rover.
Really nice. They're really nice quality as well.
And we've got Ian, Stella Career United ruined. Yeah, I agree. So much promise wasted, but that's enough for Mason Greenwood. Let's get on to League One. So throughout the week, there were 4 games. All we're going to do is go through the score lines because we'll talk about each club a little bit more on the Saturday fixture. So MK Dons, a decent away win at Burton, which keeps their season ticking along quite nicely. Gillingham earned a very good point against struggling Shrewsbury with a 0-0 draw. So that leapfrog Gillingham back above Doncaster, put us back at rock bottom. The result which helped the Rovers, AFC Wimbledon 0, Ipswich 2, that kept Wimbledon in and around it. Charlie, we'd love to come on, but it's a League One show. Don't worry about it. You will be. You'll be.
Charlie, you want to come on and talk? Be my guest. Cause I know you watch all sorts of football. I think Dan's show, but I won't mind having Charlie on.
You're more than welcome on, Charlie.
Right about that. I'm so used to doing my own stuff.
To be fair, you'll probably end up getting transferred on anyway next year when Donny are in League Two.
I'm only on loan this season.
But the big game during the midweek was Fleetwood against Plymouth. So I had a close eye on this one because we played Plymouth on Saturday. And Plymouth started well. Jeff Cott scoring to make it 1-0, but Paddy Lane scored his first goal. Wonderful goal this weekend, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. But then you think Plymouth going 3-1 up, game's dead and buried. And then they just switched off in the last.
They did a Wednesday.
Yeah, they did a Wednesday.
What I've noticed though, recently Plymouth are losing a lot of goals late. it does look like they're switching off at times, which is nice for me as a Wednesday fan seeing other teams that do it.
Yeah, you think at 3-1 they'll be able to kill the game off and take those 3 points, but unfortunately for the Rovers, Fleetwood fighting back, and surely Anthony Pilkington goal was offside, but it stood and Fleetwood won.
You look at the stats, Fleetwood earned that draw.
Yeah, they did.
If not, they could have been a bit unlucky not to win it.
Yeah, like you say, looking at those stats, 23 shots, 13 on target compared to the 9 and 6 from Plymouth. Yeah, I agree with Ian here. Argyle aren't going to last the pace.
Yeah, well, we said that season. We said that they go like a rocket, and then they. And I think the manager situation, I don't think it helped, but it was already looking like it was starting to tail off.
Yeah, I think, with Lowe leaving, I think that's kind of been a contributing factor to Plymouth.
Let's see if they manage to keep Jephcott tomorrow and Hardy.
Yeah, coming to the end of the transfer window, there's going to be a bit of movement which will change the outlook.
A lot of teams, yeah.
So just a quick one going through what happened midweek, but we'll touch on each club a little bit more now. From Saturday's fixtures, starting at Crewe against Rotherham. Ian will be happy with this one. Michael Smith, got to keep hold of him because
I can't see him go. I can't see him going though. Can you?
I can't, but you never know. A big club may come knocking tomorrow. If the price is right, will Rotherham let him go? I'm not so sure.
Paul Warren, turn your phone off.
Yeah, I think he's much more valuable than a decent chunk of cash because Michael Smith in the squad. I think Rotherham are top 2. I don't know if you agree with that, Jake.
No, I agree. They look in the business. They're doing really well. If and when they go up, they need to spend a little bit of cash so they can secure themselves this year in Championship. They can't keep being this yo-yo team because they deserve to be a Championship team with how they play and how they run the club. And I'm a Wednesday fan, you're a Donny fan, and we're meant to be that rivalry. But at the same time, I do like seeing how South Yorkshire teams do. It's good for the area.
Admiration to, like you say, how the club's run, and I think a couple of shrewd signings, and they've got a good core group of players there that are capable of Championship football. I mean, we saw them against QPR, took them all the way in the FA Cup. And
well, they didn't really lose many players though, did they? When they came down, they kept quite a lot of the core thing.
There we go. So routine win from Ian. Judging by the commentary, Crewe never laid a glove on us.
Sounds about right for Crewe this season, to be fair.
Yeah, that's a little concerning though. The 15 shots and only 1 on target. I'm not sure how true that is. I thought Smith had a couple on target from the highlights I saw, but maybe not. But yeah, good result for Rotherham. That puts them to top of the table. Moving on to one of the
mental game. Absolutely mental game.
Here's one. We will get onto this one a little bit later, but Sunderland conceded more away goals yesterday than we have conceded 13 away games this season. Wow.
It's incredible. This one, oh my God.
Before we move on, we'll address that Tuesday, Dan. Yeah, there'll probably be 6 shots, 6 on target, and 6 goals, probably.
Oh, you don't want another Ipswich. Don't say things like that.
Well, Rotherham,
and if that does happen, I'm putting an investigation in on for betting on this one. You could do on this Oxford game. 4 penalties in one game is insane.
Thing is, watching the highlights, there's one where Dahlberg just loses his head, and we've seen it as Rovers fans. He's done it a few times. He did it down at Plymouth. Dragged the player down. He got away with one. Lizzie. Pontus Dahlberg giving penos all night long. But yeah, it just seems to have like
nothing changes.
Yeah, crazy, but absolute ridiculous game. 4 penalties. Brannigan's penalties put away superbly, every single one of them.
I think I tweeted at 6-0, and somebody said, Jake, it's 7. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think from watching the highlights, Gillingham can take a little bit of credit from continuing to play.
They tried to play a game, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Oxford just had one of those games where everything fell for them, everything went right for them. And when you get 4 penalty decisions, I think probably all 4 were penalties. I don't think there was particularly a soft penalty within there. But yeah, Oxford took advantage of a very poor Gillingham team this season.
I love to see who the last person was like to go 4 penalties and get a hat trick from it, kind of thing, in one game. If he's, if that's the case where it's only him, that's in his record.
We'll have to check that out. So we've got Ian as well. I'm seriously worried about Tuesday. Banana skin. Only thing that can beat is a complacency. Yeah, hopefully you come to the ground and expect a nice, easy win. And I think I'll get onto our performance when we get onto our game. But yeah, potential banana skin. But in this one, I do fear for Gillingham this season. No win since October. I think along with us, Gillingham will be one of the teams going down.
It's Gillingham, you and Crewe at the minute for me, who are certain.
Yeah, we look nailed on, don't we?
Yeah.
And that takes us on to Doncaster against Plymouth. And I think the scoreline for this is unfair. In the first 15 minutes, we should have been 3 or 4-0 up. Plymouth didn't look particularly anything special. I think if you were a neutral, this was the first League One game that you'd gone to, I think you'd say that the two teams were very close in the table.
Yeah.
I think we matched each other pretty well. But after around the 15 to 20 minute mark, we stopped doing everything that we'd done in that first third of the game, quarter of the game.
Am I right in thinking that you kind of gone back to basics a little bit? Because it seemed like your football recently been really consistent with just doing it simple, not being absolutely showboaty, just doing the simple things right.
Yeah, I think we just...
Especially in like a midfield area.
Yeah, we're just playing more as a bit more cohesively. We're playing the ball a little bit more. We're not trying to rush it and get that perfect pass. There is a bit of a frustration that we're trying to maybe overplay a little bit when we're in the final third. I would like to see us take a shot on every now and then. But I think we saw that in the first 15, 20 minutes in this game where we had a few opportunities and I don't think Plymouth knew really what had hit them. But then when Jeff got scored on the 23rd minute, it was a little bit too easy, the turn around Younger. But I think he's still learning his trade. Got Liam Martin in the chat. We'll allow you that one. But yeah, I think it was a very 50-50 first half. We had a goal disallowed for offside, which I don't think was offside. Had that gone in, maybe it's a different story. But then the second half, I think McSheffrey's made a bit of a change in formation, and we just ended up kind of losing that foothold in the game. And Plymouth performed well. I think the possession is a bit misleading. 61%. A lot of that was played along the back four. I don't think 14 shots, 5 on target. I don't remember them putting us under that much pressure. In all honesty, I think it was a very even game. The scoreline for me doesn't reflect that, and I was disappointed not to come away with something from a good performance. So that gives me a little bit of hope. I still think it's too far gone, but there is 54 points to play for. It's not 57 now. Would I have expected 3 points against MK Dons and Plymouth? Probably not. So we're about... The
thing is, with the Plymouth one, with what happened midweek, you kind of thought, oh, they might be there for the taking.
Yeah. Maybe what happened midweek, maybe set a fire off under the belly or something, and they didn't want to do that again. But scoring on the 79th minute kind of killed the game off. The 63rd minute
Well, we played them 3 times this season and won once, so...
Yeah. I will take that, though, what Lizzie just said. 3 ex-Rovers players played for Plymouth and no goals from any of them. We'll take that.
Hey!
Liam disagrees with me. Deserves the win. I know you think different, but you guys didn't take chances and we took ours. I think you're down now. Yeah, I get that. You did take your chances, we didn't take ours, but I think on the balance of play, your keeper made a couple of good saves. I think the clear-cut chances that we had we put them away, we'd have come away with something. So a bit disappointed not to get something from that game, but we move on. And I will give the floor to you now, Jake, for Sheff Wednesday against Ipswich. I will give the voice.
Very, very impressed with how we played. I was really happy to see, if you're an Ipswich fan, you're not, but Sam Mosley got that suspension 4 matches immediately. And I think if he's in that lineup, it's probably a different story. They started the game off a little bit better. We did something that we not normally do. We went on the break. Marvin Johnson, great ball in. But Wednesday should have been 3 or 4 up before half time. But we don't take our chances. And at the minute, we got a situation where Lee Gregory now I think he got a broken toe. And Darren Moore's said that he wants a striker in by tomorrow. Because Friday, he said, yeah, we're done in the transfer window. We're not going to do anything. Saturday, I need a striker in because I don't know what he's thinking. And we did miss Lee Gregory's hold-up play and stuff. But Canberra, who we got on loan from Grasshoppers, I think, in Switzerland, really good player, just come back from injury. It's a shame Windass didn't do much because since he's come back, he's got 4 goals. He's our second top goal scorer already. He's not been back that long either. We might lose Marvin Johnson as well because he went off injured, but it was a very good display by Wednesday. I was very impressed with it. I liked what John Jules does. He got speed. He got a bit about him. I think that could work out because I was speaking to you or speaking to Lizzie, and you both said Darren Moore can get stuff out of him. And I think in that sense, it'd be good. But a team who was second in the form table and we got a win and they didn't have a shot on target, we had, here's a shocker, Sheffield Wednesday played actual centre-backs at the back for the first time in ages. Because midweek, we got Harley Dean in from Birmingham on a season-long loan, and it's made all the difference. There were bits where normally in that team, you would see it, basically it goes head crumble, no one's acting. The first time is like seeing the concentration going. You see Harley Dean screaming at the lads, keep your heads. And it's a proper defence. Sam Hutchinson, defender. Harley Dean, defender. Jordan Thorley, defender. Jordan Thorley on his debut, fantastic game. We really did play well. It was nice to get the clean sheet, but it was nice to see actual defenders in defensive positions.
Yeah.
And it's something we've not been able to do all season. I'm hoping we might go back to a back 4 because when we started the season, we did a back 4. I did a video on it where I did the tactics, kind of trying to do a Guy Sports News on a budget analyst kind of thing. And when we played a back 4 at the start of the season, we looked solid, we looked better, but then it all went down around about October because we started losing players left, right, and centre. So really good performance by us, and I was shocked with the kind of goal line because I thought we could have been thinking, yeah, it makes a nice change, and that does keep coming up. And he said, what was he said? He said the other day, I like having lots of versatile players. I was like, well, you got Liam Palmer and Patterson's been a forward, a winger, a midfielder, and a defender this season. So you got your versatility.
Yeah, versatility is definitely there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So a big important 3 points that as well for 2 teams who were chasing a playoff spot. So we will see what we'll see what all the results have done to the table at the end of the game. End of the video. Tell you, I've had an absolute nightmare today. Get my teeth in. So moving on to Fleetwood, another important point. Paddy Lane, wonderful goal. I don't know if you've seen it. For me, it's the goal of the day.
It's very good.
Laid off to him on the edge of the box, and he's just struck it sweetly.
Unlucky own goal as well.
Say again, sorry.
It was an unlucky own goal as well.
Yeah, I think the conditions had a lot to play with that one.
Yesterday, one of those games, if you're managing, you play long balls, you tell them to keep it on the ground because some of the grounds in League 1 and League 2, if you hit it high up, you're losing it. Back when you were back at school, and so you brought in the red ball from like the shop, and it was a floater.
They were wonderful footballs.
They were great. Everyone could turn into David Beckham in like instant.
Charlie's popped up. So he said you can have Pittman, Jake. He's leaving us. Or if Donny need a striker, you can play. You can take Pittman. I think we are in the window for a striker, but
we can't pay fees, so we can only loan people.
But yeah, another good point for Fleetwood, keeping them out of the bottom 4 and just ticking over nicely.
I think also on Fleetwood, I think people are not giving their gaffer the credit he deserves. He's actually doing really well considering they had Grayson and now they've got him in. He's slowly just making things work, isn't he?
Yeah, they're working under the transfer embargo as well, which ever makes things easy. So yeah, doing a good job. On to Cheltenham against Wigan, and
great result for Cheltenham. This
Wigan 19 unbeaten, but Cheltenham started well in this one, but chances for both teams at a bit of a premium. Only 9 shots each, 2 on target for each, very even on possession, and that's, I mean, we've said it numerous times on the show, that Cheltenham just they play their style of football. Yeah. They're not scared of any team that's coming down. Wigan, very, very good team, full of ability, and Cheltenham have just done what Cheltenham do.
Yeah, they just defended everything well, but it's interesting on shots that both sets of teams 9 shots, 2 on target, and I think that says a lot about both defences. Yeah. It's also nice to have a show where we're not talking about Will Keane on the score sheet.
Yeah, or Alfie May, or Matty Blair. Or... Yeah. We will get to an ex-Rovers player who scored, though. Ian, very happy. Thank you, Cheltenham Town. That's helped Rotherham out. Captain Nat loves the penny floaters.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone
remember the penny floaters.
Penny floater, you'd hit it with like your instep and it'd swerve as though you'd hit it with like the outside of your foot.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
They're awesome.
So on to another ridiculous scoreline of the Saturday. We've already touched upon it a few times. One of the first comments was about the electric atmosphere, but Sunderland, wow.
They are so bipolar as a football team this season. Yeah. They don't seem to be, they're inconsistently consistent in being inconsistent.
But it was the best team in League One up against what the manager said was...
They didn't put on the board with the best team in the league, so that's why they didn't do well.
But yeah, I mean, you'd have thought at 2-0 before half-time...
You probably wake up.
Yeah, get the players in, give them a round in and get a reaction in the second half, but they got the total opposite, and 5,000 travelling Sunderland fans will not be happy with this scoreline. No. Absolutely capitulated in the second half.
Wednesday next, 2 Wednesday players on there, Kieran Lee and Danny Baffy we had on loan. We were looking at bringing him in as well.
That was a worldie of an own goal, to be fair.
If that's the other end, you're celebrating that with your shirt off.
Yeah, definitely. Charlie's in the chat. Sunderland's away record is a disgrace.
Yeah,
it is. They're not very.
When we beat them at home, we were all thinking we were going to get smashed, but then we went to their place, they smashed us. So they just don't travel well.
Well, I was just about to touch on that with Liz's comment. Going to be interesting on Saturday, given this hammering. So we've got Rotherham and then Sunderland, I believe.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we've got Rotherham Tuesday and then Sunderland on Saturday. So potentially a hammering like this could just light something, couldn't it? And we could be on the receiving end of something up at the Stadium of Light on Saturday, which I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, damaging result for Sunderland, especially when they're looking to get into top.
Especially when you see some of the players they've brought in as well.
Yeah. Very good result again.
Great. Yeah. Also, to the small minority that did what they did to Akinfenwa, you should be disgraced with yourself. You shouldn't be calling anyone that. And are you an idiot to do it while he's training on the pitch and not expect him to walk up to you and him say something to you? You morons.
Big lad as well. I won't like
I don't know what you're thinking doing that, because you know it's bad when Wycombe players have to go grab him and pull him away.
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure what was said. I think it's to do with the...
Basically, it was just trying to say he was a sex offender chant kind of thing, and it's uncalled for, not needed. And you know it's bad when Wycombe put it out on their whole thing. Can people be a bit respectful? And it's just not nice.
No, I think MK Dons put it out on their socials as well. So yeah, something else that we condone on this channel. There's no place for it at all. But yeah, a tasty derby that was overshadowed by that. But
Scott Twine he's having him. I really hope for them to keep him tomorrow.
Yeah, unreal. But yeah, that's a rare defeat for Wycombe at home as well. They've been so consistent at home. But yeah, shame that result was overshadowed by stuff that happened in the stands.
Here we go.
So the first one of the episode, John Marquis, he just scores goals, doesn't he?
If you're playing a drinking game, this is where you drink.
I think Lizzie mentioned the drinking game last week for every time you said John.
Did she?
But yeah, John Marquis, I don't know if we were linked with him or not. I think there was just the.
Do you think the ex-Donny Rovers kind of link up was the whole way you were linked with him?
You find out that the next player's available. John Marquis scored 20 goals a season for us. Do I think he'd have fit into our style of play? I didn't, but after yesterday's performance, I think John Marquis would have had 2 or 3 goals because he'd been in the right place at the right time. He's got that composure, and a goal scorer is something that we desperately need, and he's just that. He's 2 games in the Lincoln, 2 goals in, and he may be the difference of pulling them away from the drop zone or keeping them close to it. So yeah, it's nice to see him get on the score sheet. Hopefully he doesn't have a good game against us in a couple of weeks.
We got Burton next Saturday, so seeing how they're playing, it's at the minute the table, we'll look at it later, but it turned into like mini leagues all of a sudden in different areas, and Burton are in that.
But they're picking up points. They do it. I think did they win 3-1 last weekend or something? So
something like that, yeah.
They're starting to pick the points up. We've got Charlie signing of the season. His 21 goal contributions. That's invaluable. Talking about condoning actions of fans. No place for plebs at Rovers throwing pyros and glass bottles. Absolutely.
There was also something with Rotherham as well.
And
I think Rotherham got. Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
it just looked like football fans have decided to be stupid this weekend.
I think it's like because it was the lockdown season and everybody couldn't watch it. It's like they've taken all of the stupidity that they gradually do over a period of time, which is stupid in itself, but it just seems like it's magnified at the minute.
It's like I saw a Rotherham fan turn around. This is the second time our clubs have to put a statement about one of our away results and telling people to behave. It's like you shouldn't have to see that every time.
No. So, but we will try to stick to football. Burton did well to come from 1 behind. Lincoln, a very tough team to beat at home, to be fair. But yeah, good result for Burton to come away with the 3 points for that one. We've got 2 more games because there's a game on Monday night. The penultimate game is Accrington Stanley 2, Morecambe 2. And this one, Accrington Stanley, you'd be thinking,
how the hell did they not get more out of this? And to do that against Morecambe's, that
is ridiculous.
Morecambe, no got Doctor on the score sheet either.
No, but from watching the highlights, it did cause a bit of chaos, and I think he was involved with a younger's both goals, either through an assist or just generally being a bit of a nuisance in the box for the first one. But yeah, a couple of decent finishes from a younger, and Accrington Stanley fought back from 2-0 down, and all the action was in the first half in this one. But 33 shots at home, 7 on target, 61% possession.
Yeah.
Silent Viking night for Accrington playing like us in that game. Yeah, plenty of chances, just not taking them. As an Accrington Stanley fan, you'd think probably going away from that one thinking, how have we not won that?
Yeah.
And then the final game, a result that didn't really help us down at the bottom of the table. Wimbledon drawing 1-1 with Shrewsbury. Asal could be a very good signing for Wimbledon. They've been struggling to get goals, and I think he's got 2 in his last 2, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's popped up with...
For this last little bit that's coming up, right, it's tail end of the season, his goal could be vital.
Definitely. But on the other side, Udo scoring plenty of goals as well, and they could be vital as well. And we will see that because we'll get the table up now. We'll start down at the bottom as we always do. It's looking pretty bleak for Rovers. It's a shame.
I am shocked to see Morecambe there now, though.
Yeah. I mean, Silent Viking, Wimbledon and Shrewsbury both down there, so a draw is the best for us. Yeah, I can see that. I think I've just got my sights on 20th
Yeah.
Not really got me sights up on 16th.
Well, we got Morecambe on Tuesday because that's one of our games that's in hand.
Yeah.
And we need to win both our games in hand to kind of think, we met the game against Oxford really screwed us. If we had lost to Ipswich, I would have said that probably up mid-table for the season because I don't think we would have enough to get to it.
Yeah.
But we got to win against Morecambe. And it's a shame to see Morecambe there because they started off so well.
Yeah, they were strong, and to see Morecambe there with Stockton's contribution as well, it just shows where they could be had he not been there this season.
Tight. It's a very tight table.
It is. There's only 10 points, and that's what's kind of keeping the hope on. With 54 to play for, we've got such a tough run this month. But there's, I think, did we say 21 or 24 points to play for? I think
it's like 21 points to play for in February.
Such a pivotal month, and if we struggle to get points, I think we're down. I really do. Yeah. I can't look beyond that, but there is small burning embers of hope that from the performance on Saturday, if we play like
on your last two games that you've done, the trying, that's what you asked for. Before that, you couldn't see the trying, could you?
Yeah.
Now you're seeing a little bit of fighting. Yeah.
And if we go down fighting and keep a number of the players that we've got, potentially it puts us in a bit of a better position next year to have a go at getting straight back into League One. But again, recruitment over summer will be massively important. But yeah, hopefully.
And you've been backed in the transfer window. Let's give credit to your board. They've actually backed him and got players in, and that you weren't expecting at one point.
No, we weren't. But yeah, Silent Viking said after 22nd of February, we get teams down with us like Gillingham. So yeah, we've got a lot of teams in and around us, but I think we need to be picking points up because of the points that were lost against Morecambe and Fleetwood. I think they were the games which killed our season for me. But there is still a small prick of light at the end of the tunnel. Moving up to the top half of the table, happy reading for Rotherham fans. Top of the pile on 56 points, coming to our place on Tuesday night, and they'll be hoping to extend that. But yeah, massive 3 points for you guys.
If you actually look at that table, everything you need to know about us is in the goal difference column. The fact that it's 5 and everyone else is pretty much in double figures shows you where our problem's been. We took so many chances in that game and we didn't take many, and it's been okay. It's what happened versus Oxford. We had so many chances in the first half, and then we got absolutely buried for it and lost it. And I'm happy where we are. We got to win Burton and Morecambe, which are games in hand. If we win them, from possibility of getting into that playoff picture, but you've got to try and get Oxford out the way, who are flying. Plymouth, you never know what's going to happen. Then you got Wycombe. That's who we're aiming for. And in Ipswich going another run like they've just been on, we could struggle. But we're giving it a good try, and we'll see what happens. We've got defenders now that actually know how to defend. So
yeah, you've said all season your expectation was kind of between 8th and 12th.
Yeah, I thought it was a mid-table team coming down from the thing because it's a hard league, and I think a lot of Wednesday fans forgot how hard it is. And also, let's give Darren more credit. He built a squad with no money. He's had transfer. We haven't been able to spend a fee at all. It's been loans or frees. And people turn around and say, whatever. It's like, that's still hard to do if you can't go and pay a transfer fee.
Yeah, it's tough to do, isn't it?
Yeah. So, I'm happy with that. We'll just see what happens.
Yeah, you've got a game in hand.
February.
Yeah, game in hand, only 6 points behind Oxford, like you say. Morecambe to play, Burton. Got the teams above you, just above you to play as well. So,
our run in February is insane. Could we play? We got Morecambe on Tuesday, Burton on Saturday, Wigan on the 8th, Rotherham on the 13th. I believe who's that one?
Yeah, he's just said we're coming to Hillsborough for our annual 3 points.
I don't. As long as the Dappo stays at home, I'm not bothered. We got Accrington Stanley on the 16th, and then we got Rovers on the 19th, and Fleetwood. So it'll be interesting.
I'll do guys in the playoffs.
Fair enough, Captain. That you're a lot more hopeful than I am.
I think from an outsider looking in, Wednesday are a big club. There's no two ways about it. Fan base, everything kind of surrounding the club. You'd expect them to have a top 6 ambition, especially at this level. To be fair, the size of Sheffield Wednesday, I'd think that the ambition should be top 6 in Championship.
What killed us is the injuries.
Yeah.
We lost so many players at the back, and it's been a case for ages. We've lost so many players. And Darren Moore does love a loan. I think we've got like 9 in.
George did pop in the chat earlier. He said, feel that we lack defensive experience yesterday. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully Anderson returning, when he does, will send us up. Well, I don't think it'll send us up.
It might keep you up.
Might keep us up. But yeah, we did lack a little bit of defensive kind of nouns. I think got turned a little bit, a couple of free headers and stuff. So yeah, I'd agree with that. But top 6, I think potentially Wigan, with those games in hand, should leapfrog Rotherham. I think that'd be the top 2. Sunderland, hit and miss.
I think Sunderland will do that Sunderland thing again, where they'll get playoffs again. And I don't know how Lee Johnson will survive that, because their fan base is already calling for his head again.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one. I put MK Dons in Oxford. Playoff final, possibly.
Yeah.
And then outsider
will fall away.
Yeah.
I think it's yours or Ipswich to fight out with Wycombe or Oxford, potentially. We will see.
If we get playoffs at the end of the season, that's a good first season, whatever happens. You don't like playoff because they're so unpredictable, but at the same time, it'll be an achievement.
Yeah, it's a lottery, isn't it?
Yeah.
But having said that, before we take the table off, Cambridge, fantastic first season back in League One.
Yeah, very good.
I've had Cheltenham down as my favourite team who's come up from League Two, but Cambridge, highest positioned promoted team so far, doing very well.
And all that with losing the top scorer to Wrexham.
Yeah, so credit where it's due.
Yep.
And that brings us to the end of this one. A little bit over 30 minutes as it normally is.
Yeah.
We'll have to start charging overtime. But no, it's been enjoyable looking back at League One this week. We will be potentially moving it to a little bit earlier, probably 6 o'clock next week.
Probably February's the entire February probably gonna be 6 o'clock kind of thing. Yeah. Week in, innit?
Yeah, every Tuesday, every Saturday. We have got full fixture lists, so potentially we'll be moving it to 6 o'clock. Or if it stays at 6:30, we'll just do results on Tuesday and go through Saturday, depending on our schedules. So keep posted on Twitter. I'll let you know with that. Big thank you to Jake for joining me once again.
No worries.
Following on our socials, links in the description down below. If you've enjoyed it or you're watching it on repeat later on in the week, please comments in the section down below. Leave a like on it so it gets it
also, I want to have a big one for Billy Sharp. I know he scored a lot of goal for you guys, who's just become the Championship's all-time top goal scorer. And yeah, he might be a blade for that and all that, and he's a massive Sheffield United. I know he did a lot at Rovers, and a lot of his goals came at Rovers. So to get to the many goals that he'd done, and a lot of them at Rovers, he was a cracking player for you. It's a shame you never managed to keep hold of him.
Yeah, I'd have him back as well, definitely.
Cheers, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Ian as well. Brilliant, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, Ian.
Glad you're enjoying it. But yeah, congratulations, Billy, for getting the all-time goal-scoring record. Just wish you were still in a red and white shirt. That way around. But yeah, we'll leave it there. If you enjoyed it, big thumbs up for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe to me. Subscribe to Jake if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.